while.
Me? I don't know. I'm going to try and do it over Christmas. I've been super busy these last few weeks for some reason.
I'm upset with you.
Well, the stream has started.
Well, I'm upset with you. The stream's gonna know. I'm just kidding. I ain't upset with you.
You've never been upset in your whole life.
I get upset super easily, actually. I'm upset about most things that really don't matter.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate. You're always like, God damn it.
Really am.
I haven't had that happen with you in a while. We need to play
I
something.
I know I do better at raging
I just think
games.
we haven't played rage-inducing games in a couple weeks.
That's true, but I do better normally. I really do. I don't rage half as bad as I used to. Verdun is fun, but it is rage consuming or rage
Let's
inducing.
play Star Wars Battlefront.
Star Wars Battlefront. That game's awful. And the second one, I don't care what anybody says. They were actually I did have a rage moment that was Star Wars involved, and I was entirely in the wrong. I didn't know that I was in the wrong though.
What'd you do?
They'd have a Star Wars trivia night at this local brewery, and we went there. Me and a friend of mine, we were wanting to win. We didn't care about the cash prizes or anything like that. It's total, whatever. We wanted us to test our Star Wars knowledge, and they got us they wanted to get you with these trick questions. They'd ask you really easy ones, and then they'd ask you a somewhat hard one. Well, they asked me what Wicket, the Ewok's last name was, and I was like, Ewoks don't have last names, so we write that down.
Mm-hmm.
It was a group. We all had a consensus agreement that Wicket did not have a last name.
What the hell is Wicket? Do they even ever say names?
Well, I think they say it a couple times in the movies, but
They don't even speak English.
Well, no, I think Princess Leia calls him Wicket, or
What?
C-3PO calls him Wicket. One of the people who can translate their language calls him Wicket, but
oh my god.
Well, I was 100% sure that it was not canon that he had a last name. I remember in the 80s they called him Wicket Warwick after Warwick Davis, the actor who played him. So right. I wrote that down, and the dude marked it wrong. So I'm like, oh, come over here. We called him over, and I was like, hey man, you got this wrong. And you know what his first response was? Fuck you. That was exactly what he said. There was no
what?
Yeah, there was no exchange. It was fuck you. Comical, thank you for the host, my friend.
Yeah, thank you, Comical. How does it just escalate from that?
I don't know. And I even was like, who said something like that? He was like, fuck you. And I was like, no, fuck you. And I wanted to throw the table. I was upset. And then we got second place because we missed that question. We were 1 point away from a perfect score. BS.
That's crazy.
But,
is that the one that finds what's her face? Princess Leia? He looks like the main guy.
Wicket is the main Ewok. And see, people like to compare the Ewoks to Jar Jar, which is total bullshit. Jar Jar sucks, and the Ewoks are actually pretty.
What about Boss Nass? Boss Nass he's tearing it up.
Yeah, Boss Nass.
He could get it.
He could get it. No. Okay, so do you want? I guess we've already started.
Hey, Comical. Oh yeah, we didn't announce it. Do you want to do the intro? Now that we're well into it already.
I'm the rambler.
Okay, yeah, you do the ramble. Okay. Hey guys, welcome to the QuestCast. Today we're talking about Star Wars with the new Star Wars movie, The Last Jedi, coming out later this week, I believe. So we're just going to be talking about all things Star Wars, I guess. The movies, the shows, the games, whatever we feel like talking about. So I'm Krackakhan. Over there to the right is Bull Moose. And let's get right into it. I never told you that we started.
Oh. Yeah, you didn't say anything to her.
I didn't. I thought you were at the store, honestly. What'd Comic say? He's going to lurk for a bit?
Yeah.
Good. He's here. He's dedicated. Okay. He's on board.
Let's start it off with some pizzazz. Favorite movie and why? Which one of the Star Wars is your favorite?
The Phantom Menace.
I'm not.
I don't know, maybe. No, also The Empire Strikes Back is pretty solid. That battle on Hoth is amazing.
Well, and most people will say The Empire Strikes Back, and for me, Empire was my favorite. And I'm always ready to argue with people, but no one has asked me to argue why. But my favorite's Rogue One. It really is, and I'm a
Rogue One's
super Star
pretty
Wars
solid. That blew away. My least favorite is probably the Force Awakens. That's probably my least favorite. I didn't like that it was just 90% a complete remake of the first one, and I'm really scared that this Last Jedi is going to be another remake because From what I've seen of it, it looks like it has a Hoth battle in it.
Yeah, and that's the thing that
I'm scared.
I was talking to a friend of mine about that too. Necro will be on the cast here eventually, but I was talking to him about it, and I was like, okay, I love Star Wars. Probably 90% of my life has been like learning things about Star Wars. So I'm a super fan of the series. I really have not been disappointed with any of the movies ever, but the Force Awakens, like Krackakhan said, it was a lot of ways it was a carbon copy, and they didn't take many risks.
Mm-hmm. And they didn't introduce anything without immediately destroying it. Like they introduced like 3 new planets, and they blew up like every single one of them.
Yeah, and I wasn't particularly upset, but I did say, I was like, I'm not the biggest fan of it because they took no risks. Mm-hmm. And a friend of mine was, well, they just wanted to get their foot into the new series and try this. And I was like, so you mean the main character who just found out they were a Jedi is off on some distant planet with a Jedi that nobody knew was there? Cough Yoda.
Yeah, like, Luke is like the new Yoda.
Yeah, and then I was like, and then there's the Rebels are having like their last stand holdout after they blew up a super weapon.
Uh-huh.
I was like,
this movie is going to be the exact same. Like I'm 90%.
I hope not.
I really hope not too, but I think they're going to. They made so much money last time. They're just like, well, let's just keep on remaking.
Well, and I think that it'll be different, and also there's going to be another trilogy.
Yeah,
of Star
Wars. There's like 3 trilogies they have planned. This is like the first trilogy.
Well, they want to make like a Star Wars expanded universe like Marvel did with their expanded universe because it did so well. And Star Wars, I will say this, I like that they expanded the canon. And like, I didn't like it at first when they cut out like a big chunk of what people had wrote. But my friend Chris and I talked about it, and it's like they have a lot of conflicting things that were said.
Yeah, that new, and they used a Death Star again. Like how many times? Like I liked Rogue One, but it was still more Death Star. Like they can't get away from it. That's like the most iconic thing, and they're never gonna take it out.
The thing that I liked about Rogue One was that, first of all, it
was different. It was like all action, and it was like just a different tone.
I don't want to use this term poorly, but the filmography of it was different. Like the part that struck me is when they're trying to like set up that relief force for the plans when they're like trying to transmit the plans for the Death Star. And it looks like Vietnam-era troops, like, dropping in and fighting. Cinematography, that's my bad.
Like, that doesn't sound right.
Cinematography. The cinematography on that was interesting for me. And also, I know this isn't a super unpopular opinion, but, like, I am tired of Jedi character arcs. I like the Star Wars universe as a whole. I'm more inclined to like something that isn't all about Jedis. So, like, with the Guardians of the Whills, they were mentioned a couple of times, but they were never, like looked into, which I like. Baze Malbus and Chirrut Imwe are, like, 2 of my favorite new characters and, like, the new canon and stuff like that. I just really liked Rogue One a lot. Like, the characters were really super cool. I hate C-3PO. And I can't remember his name, K2S2, I think's his name. He's way better droid than C-3PO will ever be.
Which one is that one?
The big one.
Oh yeah, the new.
I don't want to give any spoilers, but the big.
What's that guy? That was like Alan Tudyk or something.
Yeah, I love K2SO.
That was good.
Yeah, I agree.
Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic movie series would be legit. That's like, I hope they take the series there because that's like a really interesting setting. There's like thousands of, like hundreds of thousands maybe, of Jedi and Sith just fighting huge battles. The Mandalorians, if they do one with like Mandalore trying to take over the universe.
Yeah, I would agree because like that's the most interesting time period of Star Wars in my opinion. And they wrote a bunch of books about it that they haven't like cut off as non-canon because they don't contradict one another. And that was the big problem with the like, it wasn't really Clone Wars, but like Clone Wars, and then the I think they're the Oolong Vong or Oolong Vong. They're like it's a very hit or miss series where you find out that Palpatine did all the things he did because he knew about this group of people that were like galaxies away that would destroy the Republic, and that they needed to have this like divine, like this supreme leader who could make all the decisions for them. Because if we're going to be honest, the Republic did have some issues with actually making decisions. Like the Republic usually like was stagnant when it came to making any like real choices in the matter of like what happens. So that's why that's why Palpatine overthrew them, because he wanted to have like a united front, united force to fight them. And he thought that the Death Star would be like the perfect weapon to fight them, because they used like organic material instead of like technology to beat you.
So they were like Species 8472 from Star Trek?
Yes. They're very similar. And see, some people hate that series, some people love it. I didn't like it very much. I thought it kind of copied a lot from Star Trek. I wasn't too much of a fan.
Though.
Yeah, it was interesting, but it's a little too copied for me.
Yeah.
Also, who's your favorite character?
That's tough. I don't
know. For me, it's the simplest question that anyone could ever ask me. Boba Fett by far.
Boba Fett?
Boba Fett
doesn't do all that much. Well, he's cool, but in the movies, I mean.
Yeah, I'm an expanded universe guy.
Yeah.
And as a lot of super Star Wars fans are, because there's only so much you can like learn from the movies. So in the expanded universe, Boba Fett is like this badass. The Mandalorians are badasses. I'm more of a fan of Mandalorians than Boba Fett, but I would say that Boba Fett
Was the Boba Fett movie canceled?
I think it was canceled for a Han Solo only movie, but they think that Boba's going to be the main villain in that. Which, if you
more Han Solo? Everyone wants Boba Fett.
I love Boba Fett. Like, I have so many shirts of him. I have like 4 or 5 shirts of him. I realized that I have too much stuff because I have a Boba. My friend Drew actually got me a Boba Fett keychain, like Lego keychain thingy. So I have way too much Boba Fett stuff, and if it were up to me, I would have Mandalorian armor too.
You should get it.
He's by far my favorite. And
that's next Halloween.
I would love to. A lot of people build it, but it's like $1,000 to build Mandalorian armor, and I think it's even more expensive to just buy it off somebody.
Yeah.
It's pretty. See, you always struck me as an Obi-Wan fan.
I was gonna say that, yeah.
Obi-Wan.
I was gonna say that actually. Yeah, Obi-Wan's pretty good.
Well, Obi-Wan's like the quintessential like perfect character in the series. I like to think so.
He has the high ground. He has the moral high ground. He has the literal high ground. You're not going to touch Obi-Wan.
He fell in love, and then he was like a good guy about it, though. He was like, I don't want it to interfere with our careers, but if you would have asked me to leave the Jedi Order, I'd have done it in a second for you. It is actually kind of like warming, because I hated the character he fell in love with.
Who? Is this in the expanded?
No, this is in the Clone Wars, which I think is still the TV series. I think it might be canon. I might be wrong.
The animated one?
Yeah.
Or which one? Not the Samurai Jack one, right? The
no, it was one? The more kid one. But she fell in love with him. And he was like her protector, and she was like a Mandalorian princess or queen, who wanted the Mandalorians to become pacifists. She didn't want them to fight anymore, which their whole culture is war based. And these guys called Death Watch were like, nah, we're gonna kill you. Like, we're not doing this.
Hannah
you met the actor?
That's crazy. Hannah said her little brother met the actor at Disney World.
Yeah. When I finally get the
voice of like all the clones and everything too.
When I get a really, really nice job that I know isn't going to have a problem with tattoos, I'm probably going to get my first one, which is going to be the it's not a mastodon, it's called something else.
Is it a dinosaur?
I think it's a Kathhound. No, it's not a Kathhound skull. It's the thing that Boba Fett has on the side of his.
Oh yeah.
It's the symbol. It's a Mandalorian symbol. But
yeah, I don't remember what that's called, but yeah, I know. I can picture what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm gonna get that somewhere on my body. Not visible, probably for the.
Yeah, what is that? Isn't that like the Hutt cartel symbol?
I was always under
in
the
video games they put. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Used by the Mandalorians in the Clone Wars and post-Clone Wars era.
Well, also it was a symbol for the bounty hunters in the miniature series, because there's 3 factions: Rebels, Imperial, Bounty Hunter, and bounty hunters have that symbol, which kind of throws me off too, because I always thought it was just a Mandalorian.
Maybe I'm wrong. No, I think Hutt cartel is different. I'm not really sure. Maybe they don't even have a symbol. Maybe I just associate it. I feel like in a video game I saw that. I don't know. Doesn't matter.
Well, I think that symbol's been used loosely over the years. I think they just now
it just means
came to a conclusion with it. Yeah.
Criminal.
Or Mandalorian. which is my
Yeah.
like I don't know. I'm obsessed with the Mandalorians. Like they're my favorite.
There's
They're
like
like
30 of them left.
well, the thing with Mandalorians, Krackakhan, is that it is not a race. It is a culture. And so you can, like, if you want to be a Mandalorian, all you gotta do is be like, all right, I'll follow your code and conduct, I'll convert, and I'll be one. And that's all you do. As long as you follow the rules, you're one of them. And teach your kids how to fight. That's like their big thing.
Mm.
But that, and also, that's why I like the Old Republic series a lot more. It's because it focused on the Mandalorians at their height and not when there was only like 30 of them, like you said, left in the galaxy.
They're causing trouble. In those
The
days.
Jedi killed them all off.
I know, they like blew up their whole planet, didn't they?
No, it's why this isn't canon anymore, but why Count Dooku left the Jedi Order is because Jango Fett and his buddies got set up by Death's Watch, which is a group of Mandalorians that didn't like Jango Fett and his guys. They forced this king into saying that the Mandalorians were on his planet slaughtering him, when in reality the Mandalorians were fighting back a civil war for him. And the Jedi just jump in and just slaughter him without like asking any questions. And Count Dooku finds out later that it was all a setup, and he's like, we're really not like entities of the Force anymore. We're the thugs of the Republic, and whenever they tell us to go kill a bunch of people, we do it. So he's not wrong. That's why Star Wars is kind of morally gray in a lot of places. Like,
I know, it presents itself as 100% good and bad, but then it's not really.
Well, and also I wouldn't be pro Empire, but I definitely would think that the Jedi were definitely out of where they should have been when it came to politics. They were like, oh, all right, well, like if we don't like this guy in office, we could always just overthrow him for the Force, of course, for the Force. The Force wills this. They were like way too into politics and stuff. They weren't supposed to be that way.
Yeah, they're more involved than they're supposed to be, and I don't know.
My friend actually has a theory that the Force allowed them to get annihilated because they had like lost their way, which is an interesting concept. It's like a theory, but
Anakin had to bring balance to the Force, and the only way to bring balance, there was only a couple of Sith left, so to bring balance, he had to kill all the Jedi. So now there's only a couple of each left.
Well, let's be honest.
That's balanced out, right?
If we're gonna be honest, because also in the Rebels series, there's more than one Sith. There's like at least I'm early into the Rebel series, but there's at least one more in the series that's like an actual guy who has the Sith. He's got the red lightsaber. He can use the Force. He can sense like sensitive people, but you can't kill all the Jedi. And I know that they thought of it at the start of like, oh, you got to kill them all off. Like they're all dead. They've like slowly allowed like 1 million of them to have lived through that mass extinction of them.
Yeah.
Because I think they were scattered all across the galaxy fighting in a war. And it's like some of them like probably heard like, oh yeah, like, oh, you know, they're killing us all. Like I should probably go in hiding.
It was supposed to be like synchronous, right? Like they all got the order and all did it at once or something.
Yeah, well, some of them.
Did you play what's that game called? What was that one for the 360 where you play a Star Killer or something?
Force Unleashed.
Yeah, you play the Force Unleashed, and there was that one guy who like refused to use clones and had like his own like personal trained army, and he was still alive.
I was gonna say that's canon. Some of them refused to do it, and some of them didn't serve with clones because they were like sentinels or they were healers or something like that. That is so cool that you got a picture with freaking Boba Fett.
What?
That is so cool.
All right, let me see. Oops.
Also, the winds are picking up where I live, and if like I just go dark, it's because my power got knocked out.
Wind here was crazy yesterday.
It's been wickedly cold here. It feels like Hoth because like you step outside, there's not any snow yet, but it's coming.
Whoa, that guy's old now.
They're all old because the movies
was old. Yeah, I know.
Ago. We're old, man.
This guy's old, and this is old like 10 years ago.
I was 8 years old when episode 1 came out. God, you know we're old.
When did it come out? Oh wait, The Phantom Menace?
Yeah, Phantom Menace came out when I was 8.
What year was it?
2000.
I said The Phantom Menace.
The Phantom Menace. That sounds like something not good.
Don't Google it.
Do not Google it.
Let's see, 1999.
Ooh, 99. So yeah,
You were 8.
I was 7 going on 8.
I was something.
I
was
was
27 when it came
I
out.
was upset. I don't. Were you one of those kids that were obsessed with Star Wars?
Yeah, I was pretty excited. That's
I
why I
was.
like it. It's because I was young and it was like the first Star Wars movie to come out during
Mhm.
like our lifetime, really, and I was pumped for it. I enjoyed it. And Darth Maul
Well,
is still the best bad guy.
he's one of the best. He's one of like he
He
used to
doesn't.
be
He barely
underused.
says anything in like the
Yeah.
entire movie, but he's still the best.
I'm gonna say this too. People can hate on the prequels now because it's popular to hate on them. But if you're in your 20s, and I know that there's gonna be like some random hipster that comments on this video and they're like, "No, I never watched the prequels. I was always about the originals." If you are in our age group in your 20s, you became a fan typically off Star Wars because of the Phantom Menace, Clone Wars, and Revenge of the Sith. Like, let's be honest. Like, because as a kid, you don't really care if they're bad actors. You just see like Star Wars lightsabers and like all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know people like to crap on it now, but when I was a kid, it was the best thing in the world, and I went and saw every movie in theaters multiple times, like I'm going to do with the Force. I did it with The Force Awakens. When The Last Jedi comes out, I'll probably see it once or like twice in the first week it comes out. But
And
yeah,
I think beyond just like the quality of the movie, I think you also have to take into account like what they introduce into Star Wars, and like they introduce like the Clone Wars and like the Trade Federation, like all these really cool settings that have just become like, I don't know, very important to the Star Wars franchise. But then like the new movie so far hasn't introduced really like anything that is worth noting.
Well, and I'll say
so far,
that
with one movie.
Yeah, I'll say that in the Clone Wars, like people, like once again, people like to crap on the acting and things like that. But it, like you said, it added so much canon and so much, like so much of an expanded universe to Star Wars again. And they mentioned the Clone Wars in the first movie about Obi-Wan Kenobi fighting in it. And
oh, do they?
yeah, he said he fought in the Clone Wars with Luke's father, but. And at least when I was a kid, I always had like a memory of like I was like, oh, I wonder what those were like. And see, another good friend of mine who's a Star Wars fan always thought that they were fighting against the clones, and I always thought that too. I was like, oh, the Jedi got wiped out by the clones, like the clones killed them.
Why is it called Attack of the Clones when they have the clones?
I don't know. Maybe
it's weird because the movie's not called Clone Wars; it's called Attack of the Clones.
Really?
Yeah, I always called it Clone Wars too, and Hannah corrected me like last year.
I always did too. I always call well.
Yeah, it's Attack of the Clones. It doesn't really make sense.
Even as a kid, I told myself that one was a little weaker.
That one's like the most forgettable out of all of them, I think.
Yeah, well, I remember this is like the nerdiest I've ever been in my life. I went when Revenge of the Sith came out. It came out.
That one's good.
Like this is back when movies came out on Friday night. It didn't come out Thursday night. It came out Friday night. And I was too young to go and see it at midnight. My parents wouldn't let me. I was 12. Yeah, I was 12. I was 12 years old when it came out. I went to it on Saturday at 9 a.m., which was the first showing. Saw it, got out, went right back in line, and bought one for I think 30 minutes later. I was like, oh, I'm gonna see it again. Go and I get a ticket and I go right back in and watch it again. And then I leave, go home, get food, and then my uncle calls me and is like, hey, you want to go see Revenge of the Sith? And I was like, yeah, sure, let's go. I saw it 3 times in one day, like
That's
on
intense.
a Saturday. And then Necro, I'll give Necro this. Necro went and saw it twice with me, the 9 a.m. and like I think like the noon, but he did not go that night and see it with me. And I remember I had that movie memorized. Like I could tell you everything that happened ever. And yeah, but that's how Star Wars should be though. For me at least. I loved them. I never thought any of those movies were bad. And
yeah,
I remember
all of them. They're all good in their own way.
I remember sitting like there in the front, like because I remember as a kid I thought the front row was the best for some ungodly reason. So you're just like,
yeah,
you're looking at
you're all the way back. You're just looking straight up at it.
And I was just like, this is the best. And then I don't know, I went through like a withdrawal phase of it because then we became really reliant on the cartoons and stuff in games for like your Star Wars fix, because for a while like nothing really happened, and then they announced the movies and the newer movies and I was like, I don't know how I feel about like the post Star Wars world.
Yeah. The first one was a letdown, though. The Rogue One, hopefully they keep making ones of that quality, but
Well,
I don't know.
it's Rogue One and then the Han Solo. I think they're gonna stagger them, so you're gonna get like an actual
They're
story
gonna
one.
do like the Marvel thing where they're
Yeah,
staggering the different like series and
yeah.
like spin-offs and stuff. Yeah.
You're gonna get an actual one, and then you're gonna get like the Han Solo movie in like less than a year, and then by the time that's over with, we're gonna get like another holiday season. Uh, I don't know what that one will be called, but yeah, and I don't know. I'm happy. My sister doesn't like Star Wars very much, but I'm happy that the younger kids can actually find like love in Star Wars again.
Mhm.
What? Okay. What? How did you watch Star Wars for the first time? Do you remember it? Because I remember mine vividly.
I don't remember it vividly. I just know I watched it. I think we had it on like VHS or something, and I just watched like the originals a lot at our house. I remember The Empire Strikes Back a lot. I really like that one, so I watched that a ton.
Uh, for
You
me,
have it all memorized?
well, well, it's because it was memorable. It's one of like the most
Okay.
memorable things of my life because
Wow.
I was actually really late to watching it as a kid. I don't know how old you were, but I was like 5 or 6, or like, no, I was 6. I was in kindergarten
Mm.
before I even like heard of Star Wars. And what happened was is like this is back in the Blockbuster days. It's gonna date this. Uh, my mom, I remember she had this van, and I was sitting in the back seat. My brother was sitting in like the side one, or it was in the passenger, and my mom was like was telling us about the new Star Wars that they announced, and I was like, I've never seen Star Wars, and like she like hit the brakes on the car and was like, never seen Star Wars, and I was like, no, and you'd think she'd know that because she was my mom and I was
Yeah, I
6 years old. I didn't really like leave her side very much, but
know.
she stopped the car and was like pulled into Blockbuster and rented every single one of them. Went and bought a bunch of candy from CVS, and she was like, at 6 o'clock, we're gonna start watching these. And I remember as a kid, dude, hooked ever since. I was like sitting there watching it, popcorn, like the Crunch bars. I remember everything. It's probably one of my
Wow.
most. That's probably why I like Star Wars so much. It's probably one of my fondest memories because it was like I remember feeling sick because I ate so much candy and stuff, and she let me stay up super late. And yeah, then I was like, didn't have to wait too much for the Phantom Menace to come out after that. Only 2 more years, which as a kid felt like a lifetime. But yeah, that was
Well,
my memories of it. I don't know. That,
that's
like I
pretty
said,
cool.
that's the only thing my mom's ever over like nerd wise reacted to like that. Like, mom's not a nerdy person except for Star
Oh.
Wars, it seems.
I just remember that story about the Harry Potter book where your mom
Oh,
flipped
dude, my
out.
livid. She was
Livid.
livid. She called a
That's
lady a fat cow, and the lady was not fat.
doesn't matter if you're fat or not when you're mad. Everybody's
Yeah,
fat. Everybody's
but
getting that.
that was yeah, that's one of my fondest memories, and it's what probably my first Star Wars memory. And then I do remember though, like that, like first grade school shopping, and they had like they had like Yoda shirts and stuff like that. Dude, I was like, I want the Yoda shirt, I want the Obi-Wan shirt, I want the shirt with the Death Star on it. That's all I
All of
wore,
them.
and I wore small like there was three big things I wore as a kid. It was uh like video game stuff like Donkey Kong and Mario, and I wore a lot of cartoons like Pokemon and Digimon, but those are like my big two.
Mm.
And then Small Soldiers, love Small Soldiers.
Small
I
Soldiers
had a
was
Small
amazing.
Soldiers. I had the backpack for Small Soldiers.
Small Soldiers is, I don't know why it's so good. It's like terrible, but it's amazing still.
Yeah, like I watched it again as an adult, and I was like, God, why did I like this so
It's
much?
awful,
But
but it's so good though because the
I've watched it.
nostalgia.
I've watched it 400,000 times. I
Yeah,
have to. I have to like
I've
it.
seen it a million times. I had a video game of it too.
I did too. And the video game
Yeah,
actually wasn't that
the
bad.
video game was pretty good. Yeah,
It actually was not
I like
terrible.
you kill like the pyro guy and he just like melts.
Yeah,
He like turns to like a little skeleton.
what was your favorite Star Wars video game though? Because there's been like really
Hmm.
here's how Star Wars video games work: really really good or really really terrible, and then everybody forgets it.
I don't know. One of the most memorable ones for me is the Phantom Menace one for PlayStation 1.
The
Just because it
super
had,
hard one.
yeah, it was pretty hard and it had like a million ways, a million secrets and like a bunch of different things you could do to beat it, kind of. I thought that one was cool. I just don't remember playing that a crap ton when I was little. But what else was good? I mean, you can't. No, Knights of the Old Republic is probably the best one.
Oh,
If we're
easily the
gonna
best
just
one.
be honest, don't even have to mention that. It's
That
like the
game
greatest
changed
one.
RPGs. Like
I
it was
know,
pretty
yeah,
good.
that's like game changing. So that's like the
Yeah.
best one. Lego Star Wars, that was pretty good.
Any Lego game is worth it, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
I don't
Like
know.
every Lego game
I
I
played
played,
like the Lego Lord of the Rings one and got bored with it. It was too open world. I didn't want an open world game. I just want like let me
streamlined, go through the
just
story.
streamline. Let me build those Legos with the Force. The Lord of the
Yeah.
Rings Force.
Yeah, well, I liked every Lego Lord of the Rings movie I have ever, or like not Lord of the
What?
Rings. I'm sorry. Any Lego game that I played, I was like, wow, this is really good. This is like a nice, friendly game that I can play that I don't have to take too seriously.
Do you like the Lord of the Rings one, Hannah? I thought it moved too slow.
I feel
I
like
stopped.
like some more.
I like getting all the things, and there was too much exploration, and I couldn't get all the things, and I didn't like that.
But my favorite's probably Republic Commando.
Robo Commando is really good. I'll agree.
It got hard though, and your buddies do not listen at all. They're idiots.
No, they are terrible. You're just
But
like, okay, take cover behind that wall, and they're just like, run right in front of the machine gun and get stuck on the wall here. I got it.
or yeah, just
I'll just run in the
place.
corner. Just.
Yeah,
They're so
terrible.
bad, but it's so good. You think you're in command, and that's all
Yeah,
it
and
takes.
you're like, snipe that guy, and he'll be like, got it, boss. And then he's like just sitting there looking the opposite direction. You're like,
Yeah, he's
snipe
just
that
like aiming
guy.
right at the ground. I got him. I almost got the shot lined up. They're so
He's like,
bad.
I'm on it, boss. I remember that. The ring wraiths, yeah, ring wraiths scared the crap out of me as a kid. We played Lord of the Rings a lot because the area I lived in before like the city grew, there was a lot of woods and fields and stuff like that. So we were like always like, oh well, over there's the Shire, like over here is Gondor, over there is Rivendell. And I remember we admitted one night because we were walking out one night, we were like, oh, we're doing patrols, and it was like late, dark, like it is out right now. It's 8:30, and I remember thinking, because we were like, oh, we hope we don't run into ring wraiths, and I told myself, I was like, if we run into ring wraiths, I'm peeing my pants. I was like, they're terrifying.
What? I'm peeing my pants.
That's exactly what I was like, I would pee my pants if I ran into one of them. I'm acting all brave, but I'm terrified. But no, also, did you play Star Wars with the neighborhood kids?
I don't think so. We didn't play Star Wars. Well, on the playground on recess, we would play like Final Fantasy though. Like Final Fantasy 8. We would like be the characters and shit.
Did you save the hot dog stand?
Yeah. That's the most important thing in the whole game is when you're under attack, you save the hot dog stand. But yeah, I don't know. We would play like, I don't know. It was weird. But we'd be like Final Fantasy characters, and then we'd like, there was like this jungle gym thing, and it was like, I don't know, it was supposed to be like a space station or something, but it had like a little ladder up to these two like circular things you could get in, and then there was like this little like tube thing connecting it, and we would just like get in the tube thing and try and like push each other out of the way. It sounds stupid, but it was so fun.
Well, we had like a Jedi Order, and well, I lived in a neighborhood with a lot of kids, so like, I'm not making this number up though. We had like 40 something kids. Like we had our own bus for just our neighborhood. My neighborhood's
That's
not
a
like
ton.
yeah.
There wasn't that many in my neighborhood.
So we had like, when we played Star Wars and stuff like that, like we had enough for the kids to be evil and the kids to be good and like everything in between. So we always had like a Jedi Order, and my garage was like the place of the Jedi Order. Ooh, what color would my lightsaber be? Now, I would want to be a knight. I would want to be a Jedi Knight, which a Jedi Knight typically uses the blue lightsaber because they're more like combat oriented instead of force oriented. I would probably pick green if I had a choice because green's my favorite color. But if the job wise, I'd be a knight, so it would probably have to have blue.
Yeah, I don't know if the job. I like the green. The green's really cool. I'd probably pick green, but also the orange one, just because it's different. There's only like 2 people with orange lightsabers.
Well, orange is for a sentinel, and a sentinel is like one of the like rogue type characters.
Oh. The only guy that I've seen with like an orange one was like that weird, like, I don't know, his skin's like orangey and gross, and he has like that black mask on that kind of like goes. Do you know the guy I'm talking about?
Plo Koon, that's his name. Plokoon.
Plo Koon. Yeah, that guy. Plo Koon. He's like the only dude in like the movie. Oh, he has a blue one in this one. I swear in one of the video games he had orange.
Yeah, well, I think it's like it's probably once again one of my favorite Star Wars games. It's the one where you can play as Mace Windu, Qui-Gon Jinn, Obi-Wan. I can't remember what's her name, but she has a red lightsaber, and then Plo Koon, who has
You could be as that
orange
like
one.
Twi'lek chick too. I think in that
Yeah,
one. I don't remember her
and then
name,
and then
but Plo
yeah, I
Koon was
think it,
orange in that.
yeah, because he was supposed to be a Sentinel, but they changed him to a Knight later on. He became like a pilot and a Knight instead
I
of
don't
a
like purple.
Sentinel. I wanted a purple one too. Purple's a pretty BA one. I had all sorts of
Only
lightsabers. Like,
Samuel L. Jackson can be purple. He's the chosen one.
well, when I was growing up, there's the lightsabers weren't that expensive. They were like $10, and if you wanted one of the really nice ones that like didn't fold in all the way, those were probably like 20. But we always just used the ones that could fold in all the way because we would wear like jackets like the Jedi, and we would like pull back and be like, "What's up?" Like I got my saber on me, motherfucker. And we didn't say the MF word
Yeah,
though.
you did.
No, we did not.
All right, I might change my answer. One of my favorite ones is Star Wars Jedi Knight Jedi Academy. That
Mm.
one you could like design your dude and you can customize your own lightsaber and you could pick like a double-sided lightsaber. I would want a double-sided lightsaber, if I'm gonna be honest. That's pretty badass. Um, but also in that one, there's a mod that makes it the best game ever, is because it has a dismemberment mod where
Mm.
anywhere you like hit a person with a lightsaber, it just instantly kills them and cuts off that body part. And it's like the greatest thing ever. It's like the only game that makes you feel like you're actually using a lightsaber, because you die in one hit too. So you'll be doing like these cool like flips and stuff, and like we're
Oh,
in
so then you're in
swing.
two.
Yeah, and like whenever your lightsaber touches someone, like all hands and arms and heads and stuff are flying off. It's like the most fun thing ever. I actually have some videos on my channel of that. And it's like I need to start doing some more because it's like the most fun
Can
thing
you do
ever.
multiplayer? I know what we
There
should
is
do.
multiplayer on that, yeah, and I think the mod works for that too, but I don't know if anyone, I really doubt that anyone plays it anymore. You'll probably find some like super dedicated people that have been playing
Yeah,
for
that
20
just
years.
destroy you.
They'll
Yeah.
just be like, I've only played this game for the last 20 years since it came out. Oh,
Well,
Hannah actually enjoyed it. I didn't even know you watched this, Hannah.
we
I don't
need
think.
to play the real Battlefront 2, the one that was out for PS2, because they have
Oh yeah,
multiplayer servers on
it's
Steam now.
yeah. I heard that was back. Yeah, I would play that. I have it.
I don't have it. I should get it though.
I think I got it
I
in like a humble bundle or something.
well every
Either that or I
time
picked it up for cheap. I don't know.
the Star Wars pack is on sale, because it's a lot of money
Yeah,
when
wait
it's
for the
not on
Steam
sale.
Winter Sale. That should be right
Yeah.
around the corner.
Well, I told a friend of mine about that too, and he says he didn't think that it was going to be a good sale.
I'm sure that'll be on sale.
Steam sales are always terrific, guys.
Yeah,
Like
they're always
we're
good.
not sponsored by Steam by any means, but like go and check. Like Steam is just amazing.
Yeah, it's so
That's the
good.
place you buy all your games that you had for PS1, but they're HD remakes, and you buy them for $1. And then
Yeah.
you don't play them, but you have the option to, and that's what
Yeah.
really matters.
Yeah. It's like you buy them, you don't play them, but you have them, and that's just enough for you.
Yeah,
Like if I wanted to play it, I can, and that's good enough.
well, and then there's some games that you can't, because I bought Fallout 3 Game of the Year edition, and Windows 10 doesn't allow you to play it.
Did you like Google if there's like a patch? I'm sure like somebody is
No,
hacked
I'm
the
too
system.
lazy for that.
I'm sure you
I
can
was-
find
I
it in
was-
like one Google search.
I'm
gonna do it right now
downloaded
and see if I can
it
find it.
crashed. I was like, gosh darn it!
It crashed
And then
once, and you're like, no, never again. Fallout's
Same-
ruined.
Jade Empire. I'll tell you this. I did it with Jade
Fallout 3
Empire
Windows
too.
10.
Watch. Well, I also have.
Compatibility solution. Here's a direct link to get an installer that works.
Oh, see. Well,
There's so
It-
many
it-
fixes. There's a whole thing on Steam for it.
yeah, and then the fix for Jade Empire on Steam though didn't work for me, because I went through everything. I had to re-download the game because I messed up the script one time, and it kept crashing after I did it. But
Out
then
of control.
I tried, and then somebody's like, just run it as administrator, and I was like, all right, and it worked for like 5 seconds, and then it hasn't worked for me since.
Did you run it as compatibility mode administrator?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't.
That
the
like never
Steam-
works.
Yeah, it was not the Steam fix for it, which got like 1 million likes.
Oh.
It was on like the Steam forums, but I digress, because that's Jade Empire is not Star Wars, but
It's
the
almost
KOTOR
it.
games still work on Steam for Windows 10.
That's cool. Did you rimraff?
I didn't rimraff.
What does that even mean? Are you drunk, Hannah?
Hannah's drunk, guys. Take the keyboard away
She likes
from
when
her.
I say that. I just Googled it. What does that even mean? It's the Gulp plugin, Gulp Dest Clean. Allows you to remove your destination folder. What? Hannah, you're out of control.
You were out of what? What was that thing they used to say was out of control?
Hannah?
No, it was like it's like Gushers or something like that.
I don't think I ever said Gushers are out of control.
No, it's like a Airheads. Airheads are out of control.
Airheads are out of control, yeah.
Yeah.
But my favorite slogan is, if it's popsicle, it's possible. That was the slogan for Popsicle brand popsicles, and I've lived my life by that motto ever since.
If it's
popsicle, it's possible. Which most things aren't possible because they're not popsicle.
That's true.
So, I mean, you're just justified there. You're like, I didn't do it, but I mean, it's not popsicle, so what the fuck?
Yeah, they can't lie about that. They'd get sued or something.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you can't just be making claims like this. There's fact behind it.
Also,
do you remember this ad campaign? Hold on, I'm going to send it to you. Oh, it's so tiny. Let me find a big one. Keep going, though.
Do you remember...
His name was Man of Popsicle. That's like the stupidest name ever. And he looks ugly. He looks like a monster. I'm going to post it in the stream. Does anyone else remember this?
What?
Man of Popsicle. If it's popsicle, it's possible.
Jesus. Okay, I'm going to say this right now. Looks like he's wearing a condom on his head. Like, I don't want to be that guy.
His costumes all around is like really budget superhero.
What the hell is going on behind him?
There's monkeys.
Like, he's not doing anything. That cloud's about to eat those children. Like, what is going on?
That's a robot.
Well, no, the
cloud.
The cloud at the bottom is going to eat those poor children.
That cloud looks like it's Noel Fielding from the Mighty Boosh.
It does. It's like, I'm going to eat ya. And then Popsicle Man's just like, bye, Popsicle.
He's just like, everything's right here. There's monkeys flying on carpets. There's evil clouds. There's laser guns. There's robots.
Okay, can I say this, though?
Yes, you can say it.
The best thing the trickiest thing Star Wars has ever done is that when the Ice Cream Man came around and everybody bought the Yoda-shaped popsicles that tasted like garbage.
It's all about the Ninja Turtle one is best, and then Spider-Man.
Ninja Turtles, Spider-Man, and then Yoda tasted like garbage. Because he was like, I like sour stuff, but I don't know where you guys lived. But every time you get Yoda, it was lemon and lime flavored. And like they would put extra sour on the lime to make you not want to eat Yoda. Because you would take a bite out of it and it'd be like, oh god, it's like super sour.
Did the other ones even have flavors? I feel like they were just sugar.
Red, white, and blue.
For Spider-Man. What about was the other one? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? Was it lime?
That
was just ice cream.
Yeah, it was like ice cream. And then
with gumball eyes.
Yeah, and
why do you want gumballs in your ice cream though?
Yeah, I always would like spit them out.
It's like inconvenient. You don't want to chew gum while you're still eating ice cream.
Yeah, and then but Yoda was terrible, and also like he looked crazy because half the time he was like bug-eyed or something.
Yeah, they were always messed up looking. I don't know why. It never comes out of the factory looking right.
They like mass produce those things.
Are you looking it up?
Yeah, I'm looking up Yoda popsicle because they were terrible. There's no pictures of it. There's just really weird pictures of Yoda.
There's one that I'm thinking of. Mine always looked like this one. Hold on, I'm going to show you in a second.
They're like terrible.
Mine always came out looking like this one. I always got the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle one, and it came out looking like that. Like the eyes are just like...
Every time.
He's still happy about it. Like the eyes aren't even on the bandana. It's just like growing out of his cheek.
I'm a monstrosity.
Yeah, but he's happy still. He's ready to go.
But that's the greatest thing Star Wars has ever achieved is that they just were like, let's make the most disgusting popsicle on the planet and let's sell it to kids.
Oh no,
for
is that
$3?
Is that Tweety Bird? What is that? Oh, that's a Powerpuff Girl.
Oh my god!
It looks like terrifying. A skull. It looks like a blonde grudge.
Yeah, it looks like she's melting or like
awful.
decaying. Either way, it is not good.
What? One eye is sunken in, and one's poking out, and one's sunken in.
Awful.
I think its jaw detached.
Sweet Jesus.
That's scary.
Dude, those ice creams suck.
That's nightmare fuel.
Quality control was awful.
I know. Who's letting that out of the factory? That one melted though.
Yeah. I don't. Well, Another thing is, did you buy like I know that like everybody had the Star Wars like lightsabers. Did you ever get like the guns
No,
from
I
there?
didn't. I didn't even have a lightsaber. I feel like I had like a He-Man sword or something when I was little.
You were just like,
What does
He-Man.
it look like? I had this like orangey sword that like you pressed a button and it went like. It
I
was
don't know what
cool.
that was. I had so many
I don't know what
weapons.
it's. It might just be a random sword, but it looks like it looked like the He-Man sword except like orange,
Mama
and not
Moose,
He-Man related at all.
Mama Moose has like the coolest picture of me that's ever existed, and it's like me as a kid. And I'm gonna have to stand up to show you guys this, but like,
Right. It's gonna be
okay,
glorious.
so I'm wearing a cowboy hat, and I have like the 6-shooter, like the holder for the 6-shooter, but I have like a ninja sword in there, and I'm like this, like with my like one of my like feet against the wall, and I just have like my hands in my pockets. Dude,
You're
it's
just
the
a
coolest.
cool dude.
It's the coolest picture of me that's ever existed, and it was taken when I was like
What?
5 years old.
Why did I want the orange lights? Oh, I didn't look at the picture yet. Oh, that one's even worse somehow. It looks like a skeleton monster. Why did I want
It
the
looks
orange
like
lightsaber?
it looks like the scared. I don't know whose painting it is, but the guy's like, and people are coming after him. But no, that was
Did you have a cap gun ever? I had
oh
like a cap gun when I was little and I was
mine
so sick.
mine exploded in my face, and
I think I
my
still have
parents
it.
got
I
rid
think
of it.
I still have it and like I think it has like one roll of caps left. But those are awesome.
Mine was
Oh, I
a
see, Hannah.
mine was a rifle, and it ribboned them,
A
and
rifle?
yeah, and I went like this, and like a for real musket, it was like like in my face, like burnt me. My parents threw it away. It was a rifle,
That's
and I remember you
awesome.
like broke it away and you like put in, and then you loaded it, and I was aiming it like I was shooting at like a fence, and I went boom, and like just a puff of smoke, just
You
like
almost shot your eye out like a
I
Christmas
almost
story.
no,
Dude,
I
mine was like
almost.
like a old West revolver, and you could go like.
That's so
That's
cool.
cool, yeah.
And then I also did okay when I got over my Jedi phase of Star Wars, and I got more into like being a bounty hunter. I was like, screw you guys being Jedi. I'm gonna be this emo prince, and I'm gonna be a bounty hunter. And like
Emo
I
Prince?
rode around wearing like all black, and I had like these double 6-shooters, and I was like, do 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 do. I was a bounty hunter. That was
That's
I love
intense.
that.
Did you play that video game?
Yeah, I
Star Wars
loved the
Bounty
video
Hunter?
game. I loved it, and
It's
everybody else
good.
hated it.
It was good. I think it could have been better, but it was pretty cool. I liked
I
it.
remember getting my ass handed to me
Yeah,
and
I
just
wasn't good at it. I got destroyed. I rented it.
the first guy, like the first thing you fight is one of those like it's got the horns. It's big beast. Like you're fighting in that arena, and dude, it would whoop my ass. It like throw me in the air and
Was
stuff
that
and run me.
Rancor?
No, it wasn't Rancor. It was I can't
Yeah, no one
remember.
messes with the Rancor.
No, Rank. Well, I think in the can. It's not canon anymore. But Boba Fett had to kill a Rancor with just a jetpack when he was a kid in order to be considered a man.
Whoa, that's pretty badass.
The Mandalorians are
How'd
tough.
they even have that many Rancors?
I don't know. You had to like go find it. But yeah, that was yeah, like I said. So I went through the transition of being a Jedi to a bounty hunter, and then I just remained a bounty hunter until you grow up and grow up a little bit, and you're like, hey, I don't want to play Star Wars. I want to go chase girls around.
You were a Jedi and then a bounty hunter, and then you were a vampire kid.
I know I was the emo prince like as a bounty hunter. Like I remember explicitly, like I bet people thought I was like a little disturbed child, like because I remember I had this bike. It was a sick Huffy. It was like
What?
red and gray, and it
What
was
is that word that you
badass.
just used?
What?
A sick Huffy?
I had a sick Huffy. It was like the brand of the bike,
Oh, I see.
and I would ride around like with this. It looked.
That's pretty cool.
I think at one point in time I had a cape, but I'm not sure. But
When I was little,
I'll ask my mom about it. And I'll let you guys know if I had a cape because I'm pretty sure I had a cape, and I had this
okay.
black hoodie that I would like wear, and I put the hood up, and I'd have my 6-shooters, and I'm pretty sure like you just see me like going down the street like this, like riding my bike. Okay, like little terrible monster kid over here, like little Jeffy Dahmer that doesn't want to hang out with anybody else. Yeah, I do. I
Shit.
remember like looking maniacal on purpose. I was like, I'm a bounty hunter that can kick anybody's ass. that was like my stick.
That can
And I
kick
remember like all
anybody's
the other kids,
ass.
I'd be like, you guys are going to jail for credits. Bam, 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 bam. That's like all I do. I throw shade at everybody.
When I was really little, I had a pair of pajamas that was like Batman, and it came with a cape. But then I would just put the cape on anything I was wearing and just have a Batman cape all the time. And I'm pretty sure I went up to my sister's school like for lunch one day when I was super little with my mom and just embarrassed her with my Batman cape on.
That's not embarrassing. That's adorable.
It is adorable. I had the cape on.
That's not embarrassing. That's
I
adorable.
was adorable. I went through like an adorable little kid phase to then a gross stage, and now I'm at a less gross stage.
Well, I went through a weird kid stage to a weird kid stage who thought he was a bounty hunter to a weird kid stage. And then
kid.
I'm still at the weird kid stage in my progression of life. But no, that's adorable. I know what pajamas you're talking about because my mom made me and my brother match with everything, and I was Robin and my brother was Batman, and I hated it.
You hated being. What is the? Does he have a green cape?
I had a green cape, but it came with shorts instead of pants. And my brother was always like, "Ryan, I get to do this first. I'm Batman."
Just justifies it.
Yeah, and it did. It made a lot of sense to me in those days. I was like, well, I have to wait till I'm Batman one of these days when he wants to retire.
Are you ever gonna be
No, I'm still not Batman.
You have to wait until he retires.
I'm Nightwing. Batman. My brother got me. Look, I'll show you. I'll prove example. I'm still not Batman. My brother got me this for my birthday.
Nightwing is just Robin evolved, right?
Yeah, it's all.
He just grew up into a man and became Nightwing.
This is what my brother got me from. It's a Nightwing shirt.
Yeah. At least you're not Owlman from the Watchmen.
The Watchmen was good. Like the comic was. I didn't think it translated to a film.
That movie's pretty forgettable, except for the big blue wiener.
I was just
when he's in Vietnam.
I didn't know if we were going to take the high ground with that, but someone had to animate hours of wiener sway.
They did. He's nude for a lot of it. And there's that one, like the one good thing to come out of it is that Rorschach quote where he's like, "I'm not stuck in here with you, you're stuck in here with me."
When he threw the hot, here's the thing I would argue to be like, why do we have hot grease around prisoners?
Yeah, that's probably not a good idea.
Why would you guys want that? Rorschach was like also.
He's a good character, but the movie overall wasn't.
That he was super accurate to his character in the show, not in the show, in the comic. Yeah, because. In the comic, he's not very big, and he's like an investigator. Like, he's not really a superhero. He's just like, I hate everybody, but I might as well, like, fix crime while I'm hating everybody. So, I like that, actually. And
Rorschach mask is the coolest.
Yeah. Well, you know, they have a way to make his mask, too, where it moves around all the time, like, without CGI.
Oh, really?
It's on YouTube. I don't know if it works, but...
Huh.
Because I'm going to start cosplaying. I'm going to start going to cons and stuff like that and cosplaying, and I was...
One of my friends just got Comic-Con tickets. Like, they just did, like, a drawing, like, a couple days ago. I think on Tuesday, maybe?
Well, with my build, have to...
Saturday. It was Saturday. And he got tickets.
With my thick build, I have a very selective...
You're going to be He-Man.
No.
You're going to be Mr. Toppins from Narnia. Or whatever the hell his name is. That goat man.
Mr. Tumnus.
Mr. Tumnus?
Tumnus,
that's it.
That's crappy of you to say. I'm not going shirtless anywhere.
But he has a scarf on. You're gonna be
no, what would be funny is I'm gonna cosplay as you and you cosplay as me.
Oh. That's not much of a change.
I'm gonna wear the picnic shirt and your glasses.
The what?
I'm gonna wear the picnic. Remember we just talked about
the picnic shirt? Yeah.
I'm gonna wear a picnic shirt and your glasses.
I was like, every video I look like I'm wearing a picnic.
And I'm gonna put stilts on. And then you're gonna wear like a bodysuit that morphs your like lower body to be way thicker than your upper body. And you're gonna have to be squat down the whole time.
I'm gonna be Nightwing.
Yeah, you're Nightwing.
I'll be Nightwing, and you can be Batman.
Nightwing like beats Batman's ass in one of the comics, so I don't know if I like that. We've really jumped away from Star Wars.
We're talking about Star Wars.
Somewhat Star Wars, but it's fine.
Okay, who would you cosplay as in Star Wars?
Boba Fett.
Yeah, we already talked about that.
Maybe
who would you like to see me cosplay as in Star Wars?
You be Han and Hannah be Leia.
Oh, we should do that.
That'd be awesome.
I said for Christmas. That doesn't make any sense. We should do that for Halloween.
Do it for Christmas. You can dress up
for Christmas.
Do whatever. You guys make your own Christmas
Don't even
traditions.
explain it. Just show up in cosplay.
I don't know. I think it'd be funny to see. I always think it's adorable when little kids are Yoda.
I want Hannah to be Yoda, and I'll be Hannah's gonna be Slave Leia. She said.
Just
Slave Leia Yoda though. Slave Yoda.
Slave Yoda.
Hannah's gonna be Slave Yoda.
Paint yourself green and like squat down and then like have like a weird bowl cut.
Yeah, Hannah, you can be Slave Leia. No, Slave Yoda, but you still have to be in the Slave Leia gear. Just you have to look like an old man Yoda.
They have to walk with a stick.
Yeah, like all hunched
squat
over.
Down the whole time.
Yeah, that's the plan. Who would I be then?
You can be Chewbacca.
I want to be Jar Jar.
But instead of like having like a hair suit, we just have to get like fake fur and glue it onto you.
What?
Yeah, no.
Let's be like a hairy werewolf, man.
No, you be Chewbacca. We'll just put like hair on you, then we'll like comb it to look like Chewbacca's.
I want that legit Step Brothers mask.
What?
I want that mask that he has in Step Brothers, that like super legit.
The super legit Chewbacca mask.
Yeah. And Will Ferrell gets his, and he's like, "Okay, I'm not mad that mine isn't movie quality. He just has like a cheap Halloween like plastic mask, and the other guy has like the super legit one."
No, okay, you can be Chewbacca mixed with Palpatine.
What? How could you tell under all the fur?
No,
just the robes?
No, like here's the funny thing.
The robes
like,
with a Chewbacca mask under it?
Yeah, you hear me out. Like you're walking, and someone's like, "Oh, look, it's Palpatine." And you're like, "Yo." It's like Chewbacca.
That would be cool. Chewbacca with Darth Maul, but they both have masks.
It'd just be like a hairy Darth Maul.
I want to be an Ewok, but a sexy slave Ewok.
It's like Ewoks, just like but Ewoks like can't speak, so you just got like a spear. You just poke people. Like,
Yeah, that's what I want.
Sexy slave.
What sexy slave can you be? You be sexy slave Boba?
I want to be sexy slave Jabba.
I want to be a sexy Boss Nass.
Yeah, I'll be Boss Nass. I want to be sexy slave Boss Nass.
No, you be Jabba. I want to be Boss Nass.
I want to be sexy slave old Obi-Wan.
Can you do that thing that Boss Nass does?
I don't think I can.
Shakes his cheeks.
What?
Or he shakes his head.
You know, he was played by Brian Blessed, and Brian Blessed is like a badass dude. He was in a bunch of he was in Doctor Who. He was in a show called The Black Adder, which is hilarious. But after he retired from acting, he went like traveled the world, and he went to the North Pole. And while he was like on his journey there, a polar bear tried to break into like his tent, and he stood up and he punched it in its face. Like he said right in the nose. It's a funny story, but he's like the most badass dude ever, and he played Boss Nass.
Because Boss Nass is a badass. Everyone knows.
What?
That's why she had to come begging to Boss Nass. Queen Amidala. She was like, "Please, we need the Gungans," and he's like, "Yeah, we're the best."
I'll say this: Boss Nass looks like a frog. I didn't realize it until I looked at a picture of him like today when we were talking about how Jar Jar was evil. There's two different races.
We haven't even talked about. That's what we got to talk about next.
He's evil. He's just flat out evil. There's too much. We don't have enough time to put all the evidence.
Yeah,
just
Darth Binks. He's just straight up evil. He's on the same planet as Palpatine. Everything works out for him.
Yeah, and Palpatine is from Naboo.
Yeah, he's from Naboo. They're from the same planet.
And then
he made seemingly stupid Jar Jar. He made him his like ambassador. He made him the ambassador of Naboo.
And then he also had him every time Padme talks in the first episode, Jar Jar's mouth is moving.
Is it? You think he's psychically controlling her?
Yeah, and then if you ever see when her and Anakin have that like close like moment when he's a kid, Jar Jar is like sitting back there asleep, and Anakin refers to her as the queen. And the only person who said anything about her being a queen throughout the whole movie was Jar Jar.
Jar Jar knows.
So Jar Jar knew, and that's why when she's cleaning a droid, Jar Jar's like, "Oh, we saw hello," like saying hi. Why would you just go out of your way to say hi to a lady cleaning a droid? He knew that she was the queen. He was the mastermind of the plan.
He knew. And he got kicked out by the Gungans. They were like, he's no good. He's gone bad or something like that.
Yeah, and
They
then
knew he was evil.
Yeah, and then when he comes back, it's not like oh, look, that like lovable fuck up. It's like, oh, like they're like scared of him.
Yeah, I know. He's not like level. Yeah, like you just said. No, he's not good. They all avoid him. He's evil.
Yeah, and he just so happens to run into Qui-Gon.
Yeah, he
just
so happens
to run into Qui-Gon, right?
And then he doesn't die in the battlefield, even though he's on the front lines. He's just happens to throw grenades perfectly and kill everyone.
Yeah, and then he also, they don't ever bring this up, someone had to radio Palpatine on Tatooine. They never say who did it, but that's how someone had to radio them or send a radio transmission to Darth Maul to get him to know where they were at on Tatooine. So it was Jar Jar. Jar Jar's evil, guys. It's a fact. Like, and then when the Jar Jar rumors were coming out, one of the guys who was a writer for Episode 1 even said, he's like, I love it when a part of the plot.
How do you explain this?
That's him.
That's him. He's evil. He has a lightsaber. Terrifying. I know. Gungan Sith is terrifying. Well, I just found that picture.
Hannah, we are thinking super deep about it. Also, like I said, one of the writers for the first one was like, I love it when a hidden point in the plot of a movie comes into everyone's like sight, and it was Jar Jar he was talking about. He was like, the Sith Lord Jar Jar is what he was talking about. They might not ever talk about it again, but we know. Mm-hmm. We know he's a Sith Lord.
Yeah. He was supposed to be the bad guy in the subsequent movies. Like, there wasn't supposed to be a Count Dooku and General Grievous. It was supposed to be evil Jar Jar.
Yeah, and then this is the thing that I know, too, is that in the expanded universe, before they changed it, I don't know what it's going to be now, but Jar Jar, he did all that stuff, got Palpatine his job, and then he became one of the most trusted advisors and friends of Palpatine. Like, he would go and have lunch with him, like, constantly. Mm-hmm. How are you going to be friends with somebody like, oh, the Jedi are evil. That guy the guys that saved your lives, you know, they're evil, Jar Jar. I killed them all. Like, we had to do it, you know, Holocaust them. Like, no person would think that was okay or acceptable. Mm-hmm. Jar Jar evil.
He's in on it.
Yeah, and then he smiles during freaking Qui-Gon's death. You can see it in the thing. He's like sitting there like this. Then it pans to Obi-Wan, and like Jar Jar's face goes whoop, and it smiles.
When? Like that?
Watch this. Jar Jar smiles at funeral. I will link it.
Okay, do it. I need to know this information now.
I'm gonna find it.
I just found something.
He smiles.
He is smiling.
I told you. I felt like I was taking crazy pills. I am such a conspiracy theorist with things, and this is something that I can get behind.
Oh no.
He puts his head down and he smiles. And he smiles.
I know.
Right
he's like, good. Qui-Gon was the best Jedi, and now he's dead.
Well, no, he's like, good. Now that we can definitely lure Anakin to the dark side, because there's also fan theories about how Anakin wouldn't have went to the dark side if he had had a gray Jedi guiding him instead of Obi-Wan, who Obi-Wan was a by the books guy. I'm telling you.
Whoa. He needed Liam Neeson.
He needed Liam Neeson to keep his little bitch ass in line.
You think he would have put up with him?
I think Liam Neeson, being a gray Jedi who understood that there was temptation, I think that instead of saying, you can't see your mom ever, like, that's done, like, it's gone, he probably would have had him address that kind of emotional baggage positively instead of saying repress it, which in anything ever, repressing something doesn't work. But also, little known fact, this will be my last note before I'm off of here, but
oh wow, it's 9 o'clock already?
Yeah, already. We might have to make the times longer, but when Anakin is going to kill off all the sand people, which is when they say Anakin officially went evil, like there was no going back from this. His rage got the best of him and he killed everyone. I'll link all of his evil moments for you, Hannah. But
yeah, have you read that, Hannah? There's a whole conspiracy theory that maps out like every single thing.
But when
it's really good.
Or what was I gonna say? When Anakin starts slaughtering off all the Sand People, you can hear Qui-Gon's voice go, "Anakin, no."
Really?
And yeah, you can hear it like very subtly. It's because Qui-Gon is a ghost. He's a Force ghost. He goes, "Anakin, no," and Anakin starts going through him, and you're like, "Oh, Qui-Gon knew. Qui-Gon knew. Was watching him. Was like, he's going to the dark side."
Sand People are the worst, though. They kill people during the pod races. They just shoot them.
I'm gonna look at this part because I remember hearing it like as a kid, and I was like, oh. But that's all I had to say about the Star Wars stuff.
Yeah, we went through a lot of stuff there.
We covered a lot. Well,
we covered a lot of Star Wars ground.
I'm listening to it right now.
Okay. What else is there? Jar Jar using Force persuasion as his hand waves for the entire Galactic Senate. Oh, he's doing it. He's brainwashing the entire Senate.
Also, I just watched that scene. Yoda knew that he slaughtered all those Sand People too. Like Yoda heard it. Yoda heard Qui-Gon go, "Anakin, Anakin," and then he heard Anakin yelling no and like slaughtering him. So, you know what? Probably, like, the Jedi Order really dropped the freaking ball on that one. Can we say that? It's like, okay, Anakin, we know you're, like, 17 and you really like this girl. Like, she's a queen. We're going to have you be your personal bodyguard and just let you guys live in this house together for a while. We know nothing's going to happen.
Yeah, that was a weird part of the Star Wars thing. Why were they there? That was weird.
Yeah, it made no sense. Like we're instead of sending someone who's like, pretty by the book when it comes to Jedi stuff,
someone who's known to be in love with her.
Yeah, we're gonna send someone who's known to be in love with her, who definitely is gonna be a little creepy. Because remember when he's like,
he's in the horny years.
Yeah, he's in them horny years, and he's just like, I can't remember what he says, but it was like really creepy to her. He's like, "I never forgot about you." And it's like, ugh. Get the fuck out of here, Chief. Like,
I have one more observation that I like, where it's like only the Sith deal in absolutes, and then Yoda saying is "do or do not, there is no try."
Yeah,
he's such a Sith.
That's it. Yeah. Oh man,
that's a Sith quote.
I bet people. Well, the thing is, the Jedi try to have this moral high ground that they're superior to people because they lack emotion, but in reality, extremes in any way are bad.
Yeah, having no emotion is not good.
Well, and if you would have had any kind of like, oh, well, you can feel love, that's acceptable, or like, we understand that everybody feels emotions. See ya, Comical, you have a good one, buddy.
Thanks for stopping by.
But yeah, any kind of like middle ground kind of thought process would have made it to where Anakin wouldn't have killed anybody.
Pretty much. Maybe those Sand People, they still had it coming.
Well, they probably would have killed them, but they killed his mother.
No younglings.
No younglings. You
Maybe
did
a
kill
couple
a bunch
younglings.
Of like children, they're Sand People children.
Yeah, but
like,
those are barely. They're not even human.
Okay, let's be honest. Like,
Sand People don't count.
That they do count. They do count. That was an act of rage. That was not like they killed my mother, like they're gonna pay for it. That was I'm upset, sad, like it's time for me to kill them. That's kind of unacceptable. Especially if you have that kind of power. He slaughtered them.
Yeah.
And then okay, let's say this to Padme. This is my last thing I'm gonna say. Padme, what an idiot. Like, if a girl gets approached by her boyfriend, he's like, I killed a whole village of people when I was mad. Even little kids. I'm gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna call 911. You're going to prison, sir.
Yeah.
She was just like, he's just stressed. He's just stressed out a little bit.
He's just letting the stress out.
What? No, you decide to have a baby with him.
Yeah.
Because babies just fix it. That's like putting a band-aid on a broken ankle.
The age difference is creepy too. Like, she saw him, he was like a little 8-year-old, and she was like,
yeah.
That's a good 8-year-old.
I'm gonna get me an 8-year-old.
Yeah. It's so creepy. I'm just gonna wait until he ages 8 more years, and then I'm gonna get it.
And here's the thing. I'm gonna wait until he ages 8 more years, and I age absolutely zero. Like, and
Yeah.
I have not aged today.
I get younger somehow.
Yeah, and I didn't understand it.
Yeah. I guess she died before the age issue was a problem.
Yeah, because he choked her when she's like, I don't want her to die, liar. And I
Yeah.
was like, dude, what's
That
up?
doesn't
Come
make
on, dude.
sense.
Like, you kind of just all over the place. You're kind of
He
being a
didn't
movie
kill her, right? She
teenager.
died in childbirth or something?
She died of a broken heart.
Oh,
She
yeah.
gave up.
Yeah.
And also, Obi-Wan is kind of like Obi-Wan's kind of like contradicts himself though, because when he was saying, he said he was like, oh well, you're not supposed, like, he was like by the books, but in the expanded universe, he fell in love with that lady and was like, I would have left. I would have left the order if you'd asked me to. But I'm done. I'm done ranting.
What about General Grievous? He was pretty cool.
He was pretty cool.
He didn't have the Force. He just had robot skills.
Yeah.
And too many arms. If he had just 2 more arms, he would have been set. He
felt rushed. He felt rushed.
He was rushed, but he was cool though.
Yeah, they did him well, but I feel like they should have.
He didn't really have a backstory. He was just in there, but
yeah, they should have brought him in, like episode. I'd have said like episode 1. Honestly, tried to do something with him, at least show him off. Yeah. Instead of just making him, like, oh, he's here. Like episode 3.
He's the leader of the Trade Federation. All of a sudden.
Yep, he's here, guys. This is what you get.
That's why. That's because everyone hated Jar Jar. They had to find a bad guy real quick.
They did. They were like, the Jar Jar evil thing. Nobody knew. Nobody picked up on it. They're all idiots.
Yeah, everyone hated Jar Jar. There's so much backlash. Just scrap the Jar Jar. Let's just come up with a couple more bad guy characters. But yeah, we did a lot of Star Wars.
We did a lot of Star Wars, and we did a lot of popsicling.
A lot of what? Popsicling?
Popsicling.
Oh yeah, we did do a lot of popsicling.
But thanks, guys, for hanging out with us. We really do appreciate it.
Yeah, everybody, thanks you for watching the stream. Thank everybody who's watching this later on YouTube whenever I get around to putting it up. And
yeah, we appreciate you guys. We'll see you later.
All right. See you guys.
See ya.